Hey guys! So I just finished work, just made it home, did a little bit of salad prep. I have to do some PM cardio since I did my workout earlier this morning, so we'll do some post cardio now. So I did say that I was going to jump on here and talk a little bit about my surgery and my hysterectomy story. I have had quite a few people ask me some questions, so hopefully I can just shed a little bit of light on the situation and how everything happened and how I overcame a whole bunch of situations. So I feel like this story should start with my first competition. I competed in 2019. I competed at the Coburg Naturals.
Pull up, Jack! Pull up! Tight! Loose, Jack! Loose! Good! There we go! Let's go, Jack! You're pulling! Good there.
Facing front.
160! Legs, keep the legs tight, guys.
Thank you, Mr. C19.
Oh, no.
I came second in my division for the women's open figure B class. So it was my first time competing. I came in very lean, very striated for my very first show, for my very first prep, my very first diet. So there was a lot of expectations there for me to stay very lean. I was also very tiny. I didn't have that much muscle, but I had a really good shape and very good conditioning.
Good. And you always want to feel this stretching out as far as you can. Nice. Again. Good. Now at the same time, flex your triceps, okay? Good. Open up, tricep flex.
So there was a lot of expectations for me to maintain a certain level of leanness. Throughout my first bulk that I've ever been through, I gained a lot of weight really quickly. Also, I enjoyed my food. I ate quite a bit throughout the first, like maybe 2 weeks post show. I didn't really know what to expect. And then after that, I started eating white fish again. I started eating my vegetables, was more on a structured meal plan. But I felt like things weren't going exactly how they were supposed to. It didn't feel like it was right or normal. Hi, Shazam. My cat saying hi. I started to develop a lot of stomach pain, a lot of stomach issues. Wasn't digesting my food very well. I was gaining a lot of weight in my midsection, and in my legs and in my glutes, but I felt like it wasn't muscle. It was just a lot of water retention. I was doing massive amounts of cardio to keep the weight down because I was gaining weight really quickly. It was fairly alarming, actually. I was quite scared. I was quite nervous. And this is just before COVID. After that, I had gone through another prep. Started that in June, July, because I competed in October 5th, Oktoberfest of 2019.
Thank you, Jessica, for the stage.
That show I came in overall, that was great.
Hard work! Hard work! I have an overall winner.
Definitely a crazy experience with that prep. That was by far the hardest thing I had ever gone through. I can't even begin to explain things that happened that year that my dad passed away. So I had mentally coping and dealing with that. That's how I got into competing in the first place. I needed a way to fill the void, and I needed a way to process and build new structure habits for myself. But anyways, so I had that summer during that prep, I had been to 9 funerals. Also, one of a mutual family friend of ours had also, like someone close to us, had passed away as well, very close to show date. So I had a lot of stress. I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of mental, a very downward mood. There were so many external factors coming in, hitting me all at the same time that were all just, I wasn't prepared for. A new change in career, a new change in lifestyle, a new house. Yeah, really thought all of that was just stress. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was sleeping maybe 3-4 hours a night during prep. It was a complete write-off. I was getting my water in. I was eating all my foods. I was doing the cardio and more. I was getting my lifts in. I was not sleeping, and I just kept holding water in my abdominals. I had these severe stomach pains. My gosh, yeah. The stomach pains had me buckled over and in so much agony. I couldn't even begin to tell you. It was like someone was right here squeezing like a band and holding it so tight. And the sharp pain started there. I was in the hospital quite a few times. No one could tell me why I was having these stomach pains. Even on show day, I managed to get myself lean. I was 119 pounds on stage, maybe 120 after all the carbs, but I weighed in at 119. And even that day, I had a wicked stomach ache. I had to message my coach, Mike, on the way to Waterloo, being like, I need to stop for some Tums. Like, my stomach hurts so bad. I remember backstage, I slept. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was in so much pain. I was in agony. I didn't feel good. I was in the worst, like, I was in a really low mood. And I thought, I wanted to be excited. This was going to be a great day. I love competing. I love being on stage. I love the glam and the spray tan and the sparkling bikinis. I love all of it. Do not get me wrong. But I felt like there was something very, very wrong. And I didn't know what it was. I just thought maybe there was something in my head, and I was getting way too into my head. So I packed blankets. I packed a pillow. I had my feet up against a wall, and I slept under a table for hours backstage. Someone tapped me on my shoulder and said I was going to go on stage in like a second. I'm like, okay. I tried to pump up, and they're like, no, you need to go now. I got my band. I did a couple of these little curls, and then boom, off I was on stage. I didn't even get a chance to breathe or process. And I remember seeing the white lights. I didn't see anybody in the crowd. You can't see the crowd with those lights that are so bright. And all I could think of was, I just gotta, one step at a time, don't fall, move slow, get off stage, and then just try to calm my stomach down. Made it through the day, came in overall, so blessed for that experience. And then after that is when things started going really south. I was so lean for what my body was going through. Also had, during that process, I forgot to mention, my hair was falling out. It's finally starting to grow back in a lot of places, but it fell out. All of this broke. I held on to little bits of hair that I possibly could. Over here as well. All of that broke off. I know people say, oh, well, yeah, okay, Carter right here. Whatever, I'm doing cardio. A lot of people say, well, oh, you bleach scalp your hair. That's why it fell out. No, I have had very healthy hair. I take so much pride in taking care of my hair, the vitamins and everything that I do, the maintenance. That all fell out. My skin was getting so dry. I felt like there was sandpaper touching me everywhere. I had a PSA. I had hemorrhoids. I had tumors popping up in random places. My lips had these blisters coming out of it. The anxiety and the depression was, I was in a very dark place because maybe I was confused. Maybe I didn't know what was going on. Maybe it was hormones. I'm not too sure exactly. But I finally managed to get to a doctor who knew or had an idea of what was going on after I was reverse dieting. I noticed that I was getting larger and larger. I went from being this 120-pound figure competitor, stage ready girl, to looking like I was 6 months pregnant in a course of 4 or 5, 6 weeks. You can imagine how mentally that played a role on, like, in my head, and how I felt like everyone else. This sounds bad, but I felt like everyone else was looking at me, judging me, thinking that I was eating enormous meals, enormous amounts of food, when really I couldn't even keep food down. It was in so much pain every time I would eat that, like, I didn't want to eat anymore. And I know I tried to eat, don't get me wrong. I tried to eat nutritiously. I tried to eat some rice and some steak, even ground beef, protein shakes, whichever. And this thing kept growing larger and larger and more painful. It was pressing on my spine. It was pressing on my pelvic floor. It was pressing up on my stomach. Okay, so I finally found a doctor who we thought it was stomach cancer. It was grown so big that the ultrasounds couldn't tell me what it was. I did x-rays, ultrasounds, MRIs, saw multiple doctors, and then COVID hit. So I had to wait 3 months to see they offered to get me into an oncologist, and then they decided that I would see I can't even remember. Here we go. I would see a gynecologist, which was a good sign. I was really happy. So 3 months later, I looked like I was 8 months pregnant. I don't remember the exact size of the tumor, but what did we say? It was over 25 centimeters. It was very, very big, if you can imagine. Like, that is the size of a baby, of a child, newborn baby. We decided together that my uterus had to come out. The nerves were attached to certain places everywhere. I had to have part of my pelvic floor taken apart because it attached to so many things. So no cervix, no uterus. I still have my ovaries, which do have little tiny cysts on them, but it is what it is. I still have them. I can't argue. Thank God for that. I can still compete naturally. I do have a couple little cysts on my gallbladder as well. So I do try to keep a good eye on what I'm eating, my nutrition, keep that. I do like to eat food. So I definitely try to just keep an eye on what I'm eating and stay active, drink lots of water. So the day surgery finally came, which I got diagnosed, finally found an answer close to February. And then my surgery, I had to wait till June 10th. And the procedure was fairly easy. Like, the process was, especially during COVID. I had to go by myself So I checked into day surgery. I filled out some paperwork, hung out, I packed a bag, scrolled through Instagram, looking at stage photos. I was quite nervous, not gonna lie. Also had to do a COVID test, so had one of those all the way up there. But now everyone's had them, but before that was something that was fairly new. Yeah, so I was in the hospital for 3 days. I also wanted to say that as I was going into the theater, the operating table, I was awake. It was overwhelming. I cried very quietly. And there was this really nice nurse, and I was alone. Like, I couldn't even have anybody there with me. This one nurse just kind of held my hand. She gave me a little squeeze, and that was enough for what I needed just to slowly drift off to sleep. So, woke up, and I didn't feel that much pain waking up. I wasn't actually very nauseous either. In the past, I have had seizures coming out of anesthetic, so this time was okay. I just was hooked up to IVs, I had a bladder bag, and I think it was just a lot of time to relax, regenerate, recoup, obviously, for sure. I had a tablet, thought if I wanted to watch Netflix, but funny story, I didn't bring my debit card with me because I had this feeling that I would want to go online shopping because everyone had COVID deals going on. Turns out Riderwear had a COVID deal going on, and the day after my surgery, funny story, I had bought some running shoes. Yeah, so I bought some running shoes coming out of surgery. So don't know if that was a very smart idea. Best purchase though. I wear those shoes every day. I love them. Yeah, and the next day I wanted to walk. Went for a walk. The hard part was just not using my core or my abdominals to do anything at all. Being very good with muscle isolation in what I do at the gym, I was able to disengage my core for a lot of things, just use my upper body to pull myself up, not use my core to sit forward. And I took a couple of steps, went for a walk. They said that I couldn't leave the hospital until I passed gas. That's just how they know that my lower body, my lower intestines were functioning properly. There was no knots, no nothing in there. Didn't feel hungry, didn't really want to eat. But, I'll just do what they tell me to do just so I can get better sooner. So I did. Ate food. I have a couple of videos that I wrote a little memory of how I did try to get myself better. So I'm going to show you guys now over the next couple minutes. I wasn't allowed to do anything, lift anything for to over 2 months. Couldn't lift more than 5 pounds. You could imagine what that was like just for someone who lifts for a living, and being so previously active. I found it hard to look at myself in the mirror, but I forced myself to do it because I knew I had to. I had to face it head on. So I started taking check-in pictures right away. Found that really helped. That kept me motivated. I've been in touch and in contact with my trainer, Mike. He helped me through it. He gave me meal plans. It was right spot on with the diet. The healthier foods I was eating, the more healthier my body's going to be, of course. So I didn't really feel like taking painkillers. I rested a lot. I binge watched all of Orange is the New Black, all of lots of other, I love horror TV shows. So I binge watched a lot. Did a lot of reading. Eventually, 3 weeks, I started getting on the treadmill and going for walks. Then I started, maybe about 4 weeks, I started going for walks outside. And then after that, it turned into walks in the forest. Then it turned into really long walks. 6 weeks, went to the doctors. she said I could start lifting 5 pounds. So then I went home and I started lifting my 5-pound dumbbells, and show you everything else that I did after that. So I'm about to hit up my PM cardio, and I will show you guys the video that I had made during my healing process. And something I've been nervous to post, but now is the better time than ever, right? So here it is. I hope you guys enjoy. And if you have any questions, if I left anything out, please, please, please send me a comment, send me a message, and I will, I'll DM you. I'll give you as much information as I possibly can. This was just a little bit spontaneous. Me just going off of memory and not really immersing myself in that moment again. Just trying to remember everything off the top of my head as I go on this video. But if I forgot anything, or if you have any questions, send me a message, and I will try to elaborate on a second video of this sooner than later, if it's something that really interests you ladies out there. Yeah, let me get this cardio going, and while I'm doing that, I will add in that video for you. So see you guys later.
Keep going, Jess. Keep going. Keep going. Doing some rear delt work here. Good.
I like that I can
Lock it out. Okay, lock it out, squeeze. A little bit longer at the top. A little bit longer at the top. There you go. Okay, good.
here chilling all by myself, drinking my little cup of dye. This is my third cup, need to drink. So bottoms up and let's hope for the best. wanted to record this because this is hilarious. Nothing beats being stuck in the middle of a walk and then it starts downpouring and raining, like pouring, and it is so nice and warm out. The rain is warm that, is it weird that I find this like the most exciting thing. It is so refreshing just to be in the woods, in the forest, and nature is just doing its thing. I find it absolutely so beautiful. I am really soaked, but I love it. I think this is great. Like, it's just such a moment that I really wanted to capture and embrace and just have something to remember this moment by. So if it starts downpouring again, I'm definitely going to add this on here. And yeah, I just hope everyone has the opportunity to just embrace nature at its fullest, no matter what it is. I mean, the resources I have, or being in a forest and going for walks, it's just something that I've always loved to do, especially when I'm really going through something. This is definitely my favorite place to be, to just help heal and recover, especially during my current recovery situation right now, which is going really well. It's 8 weeks post-op, so it's just fantastic. But yeah, just deep into nature, experiencing everything as it comes. And I just find it's so beautiful and great. Like, look at all of this. See some blue skies coming out here now. So yeah, it's just fantastic. I can't stop smiling right now. All right, this is attempt number 2 to go to the gym. This time we're finally gonna make it. I'm really excited. Today is August the 13th. So what would that be? 9 weeks now, I guess, and I finally get to go back to the gym. Gonna go see Mike. He's gonna help me out with some movement patterns, maybe help me try to squat, lunge, get some control of my core. I've never been this low, I guess. I wouldn't want to say low. It's not low, but I've never been in this form, this shape before, where I don't have that much control over my muscles. We're not gonna put any load, because obviously load is pressure on your pelvic floor, and we don't want that. But I got my gym bag. Oh my gosh, okay, I need to grab my waters. Forgot that. Feeling pretty good. Got some legs going on. Been going for bike rides for a while. So yeah, this is just really exciting. I think I've left the house by myself now like 7 times, except to go for walks in the forest. That doesn't really count. But yeah, my baby's right there waiting for me again. So I'm really excited. Wish me luck. Peace out, guys. Guess this is the first time I can finally say that I am walking to a gym, which is really exciting. So this will be the second time training by myself, and we're doing chest and back, just a little bit of full body everything, every session.